Howdy. Yeah, I don't know. I cannot sleep tonight. It is 2:30 a.m. I work at 4 o'clock, and I just haven't been able to sleep tonight. It's been a weird sort of day. I did nothing. I mean, in the context, is that even right? In the way that I sat around and just watched movies. I didn't get up to play video games. I didn't get up to do nothing. I mean, I ordered some pizza. Because that's real difficult with the little app. Or ordering online and they just deliver it straight to you. I don't know. I just couldn't sleep, so here I am. It's interesting, because it's days like these when I really just sort of do like circles in my mind. It's like, well, why are you awake? Couldn't tell you. Because the other days I black out at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock and I'm just sleeping forever, right? And then some days I'm just up all night, can't sleep, and then I get nervous that I'm gonna fall asleep before I go to work, so I just get up and go, right? But like I said, these days I really just sort of think about things, and I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what does this to me, because I don't know. I go to like these really dark places, or I maybe not dark, but I trying to think of a good way to explain it. I replay in my mind points in my life where I think I've screwed up, or maybe done something wrong, or what I think is something I should not have done, or something I could have done better. I don't know. It's odd. Like today, I remember last night I was playing Halo 5 with my buddy Ryan, which you guys have seen a few times on here. And I told him that today, or last night I told him that today we would play some more games. And then I just didn't want to. I didn't get online today, and I feel disappointed in myself, or maybe frustrated that I put my, I don't know, my sort of self before my friends, and it's not the first time, and then it bothers me, but I didn't do anything about it. I still didn't get online and go play with him. So then another part of me is telling me, does it bother you that much because you didn't even get up and go play games with him for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? Like, I wouldn't do anything. And then I still chose myself over my friends. And I didn't even give him the courtesy of, hey, I'm not going to be online. Hey, I don't want to hang out. I didn't contact him to let him know that I wasn't going to get on or had no intention of getting on. So he might have been on for the good part of the day, and I just said, yeah, whatever. And that, I don't know, I say it bothers me now, but then I didn't do anything about it. So it's like a little frustrating because I feel like I care, or I feel so down about it now, and then when I think about the actions, it was like, well, I didn't care enough to get off my fat fucking ass in that stupid ass bed over there to go play games. I mean, that's what I always want. I buy all these fucking games. Like, I don't even know. Look at this. Look at that shit. I have so many fucking games. And I buy them. Or maybe I rationalize them in my head that I want to play these with other people. Or my friends. And then I just keep buying them, and then I'm like, well, why don't they come over and play games with me and play these games I bought specifically so they'd come join me. And then the more I think about it, it's like, well, when did I ever get out and go tell them, come play this game with me? And then it repeats. I buy another game. What the heck was it? Mario Tennis, because I was like, oh, sweet. My buddy and I used to play that all the time. Like the GameCube version. And if I buy this, maybe we'll play some more games together, because we don't do a whole lot of gaming outside of like really specific games. And I personally get tired of that quite a bit. I usually enjoy a game as long as my friends are playing with me. But then there comes to a point where I always get like, I don't want to anymore. Or maybe or maybe subconsciously I'm trying to justify all these video games I'm buying for essentially no reason. I haven't played half of them. Guaranteed I haven't even played half of them. And then the amount I've actually beaten is probably even worse. It's probably like 5%. It's bad. I'll buy a game, play it for, 10 minutes. If that. If I even play it. I still have some that are still in wrappers. Just because I like to buy things. Yeah, I like to buy things and spend money. I realize, just in general, doesn't have to necessarily be a good purchase, be something I know I'm going to get my money's worth, or get the enjoyment out of it that I think I'm going to get. I just want to have it as part of my gaming collection that I keep telling myself that I'm going to play or get to, or maybe my friends will come over at some point and then we'll all play together like we used to with the GameCube and the N64 and etc. But the more I keep thinking about it, the more I realize I think I was using that as a justification to keep buying games for no reason. Just because I wanted to spend the money, or I just wanted to add it to my collection. I mean, collections aren't bad. I don't think so. But I think when I try to justify it as this is what I'm going to purchase it for my friends, or the idea that we're going to play it together and make videos, then I think it becomes a it's not a good thing, not a good it's just not good. So that's something that kind of keeps me up a lot of nights, or not necessarily keeps me up. It is something I think about constantly, over and over again, throughout my day. I mean, I watched a couple of really good movies my friend Ray told me to watch, because he said they were great, and I like watching movies, always have. The funnier the better, or I like horror, etc. And I watched those today, and I sort of half watched them and half put my thinking power into, like I said, that revolving, where it keeps doing circles in my head of what I screwed up, or what I've said in my past that I still feel resentment towards. Resentment? No, maybe it's maybe it's not resentment. Maybe it's just disappointment in myself. I think that sounds a little better. Like I've only had one girlfriend. Well, I know, shocker. I don't even know why I made that joke. That was kind of mean to myself. But I had one girlfriend, and I'm not going to tell her or say her name here. And I don't think I was a very good boyfriend at all. Had no clue what I was doing. And somewhere in my mind I thought we were cool, or things were good here and there. And then it would be the opposite. Like, what was one of the things? It was, I thought she had a kind of bitchy personality, like really in your face, no problem telling you you're an idiot, or being rude to you if you deserved it. And, well, maybe that's not bitchy, but I said she was a bitch to one guy when I was dating her, obviously. And he ended up telling her for whatever reason, and then she was pissed off, like, absolutely, she should be. I don't know why she wouldn't. And I tried to justify it as, well, I don't care if she is a bitch. I was like, that's just who she is, which is fucking stupid. It was like, no. If you think that way about your girlfriend, first off, that's a red flag, maybe. I don't know. I enjoy those kind of people that have no problem telling you to fuck off or what they're thinking. But if you do think she's a bitch, you definitely should never say that. Like, it's just not good. It's just something you should never do in a relationship. At least I know that now, but I justified it 1,000 times in my head and just told her, like, hey, it's cool. I mean, doesn't bother me that you're a bitch. Like, why would... So stupid. So stupid. There was another instance, too, where I assumed we were going trick-or-treating late in the night, because that's what I did as a kid. you'd go 10, 11 o'clock. You'd go out until the lights turned out, right? Well, a lot of things had changed since, 10 years or so, since I was 7 at the time. And so they were going earlier, like, 6, 7 o'clock. And then they'd be done by 9 o'clock. Well, I didn't think anything of it, and I went to a movie with my friend, or my 2 friends at the time, and got a text like 9 or 8:30, 8:39, when the movie was almost over, and she obviously was pissed off that I had not gone trick-or-treating with them, and she was pissed I ditched her. And, in my mind, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't bother to ask time. I didn't bother to double-check when they were going, what time, etc. So, that's on me. Duh. And then, in my mind, I was like, well, you didn't tell me. It's like, no. Like, I should have checked. I should have I should have done the due diligence of making sure my schedule was ready instead of just assuming I could or assuming that any time was fine. So that was another very stupid thing that I think about a lot. I don't know. My first relationship was not good. And for a very long time, I just sort of internalized it and tried to think, hey, what did she do wrong in the relationship? Which was the bad part, because I think most of the issues came from me not being attentive or not being a talkative person or expressing my thoughts and feelings and like asking her what she felt about, etc. Yeah. So I think that it in my mind for a very long time I rationalized it as she's a little psycho or bitchy or whatever, instead of what did I do wrong? And now, quite a few years later, I think I realized I was just a shitty boyfriend. I think I just wanted to have the sexual side of everything, because I hadn't for so long, and instead just trying to walk over her feelings and miss the relationship part of being in a relationship. Yeah. So that's another thing I think about a lot. And another one, oddly enough, is my sort of slack job YouTube career. I don't know if it's a slack job, but it's not. It hasn't gone anywhere, and I think it absolutely has to do with what I've done. Excuse me, what I have not done. I have all these ideas that pop into my head, like, bam, instantly, and I know, or I think I know, because how the heck are you going to know until you do it, would make a good video, or would make a good something that would get quite a few views, and then I just don't do it. I don't know if I become unmotivated, or maybe I'm motivated, but I am not proactive about doing. I don't know. I've got some, in my mind, I think they're great ideas. I think there's something I haven't seen other people do, and maybe they have, and I just haven't seen it. But I think they're smart things that I can do that are original and not sort of cookie cutter, like a lot of people are, which I think a lot of my videos are. Because I mean, Let's Plays I think work really well when you have a charming personality, and I can't say I have one. I've watched a lot of my videos, and it's just a lot of yelling and a lot of cussing at the screen. And I watch him, and for a little while I'm like, haha, funny, this is my kind of humor. I enjoy this. And then a little later I'm like, man, my vocabulary has declined excessively. I don't even know if that sentence works together. That doesn't sound right to me. And I used to be pretty decent at English, so it's disappointing. Maybe my issue is I talk too much to fill the absence of sound or absence of action that's going on in the game, or I just like to hear myself talk, because I'm a pretty quiet guy usually, except when I'm around my friends. I just can't keep my fucking mouth shut, which I think irritates my friends after a while. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, or I think I know. But I watch my Let's Plays, and I realize they're so subpar compared to a lot of people I watch, where it's like they've got comedy, they've got little editing tricks, they've got, I don't know, something they add in afterwards, which is why I like the videos I do with my friends a lot better, because they at least have something to talk about, or they sort of, excuse me, they push me in a better direction than just yelling at the screen, and just doing the dumbest thing I can think of at the time, or dumbest reaction. I think that's why something that keeps me up, definitely, is I have 78 subscribers. I've had that roughly 78 to about 80. I think I've lost a few along the way because of stuff like this, where it's the same thing. It's cookie cutter every time. The only thing that changes is the gameplay, maybe, or the story, or what have you. So I think that's something I'd really like to work on that I just haven't. And all these videos I keep coming up within my mind, I just need to do them. And I think a lot of the thoughts I have as well during these days like this where I can't sleep and I just do circles in my head is I think I'm disappointed in myself as a whole. Now, that doesn't mean I hate myself. That doesn't mean, at least I don't think it means I hate myself. I firmly believe I like myself quite a bit. And I think it shows, like going back to my buddy Ryan, where I didn't text him or nothing. Or just avoiding people sometimes just because I'm feeling out of it or whatever. and not putting in the extra mile. I think that comes back to I'm selfish, and I think I am the most important part of my life, which just saying it makes me uncomfortable. But I mean, it's probably true. But I think I'm just disappointed in myself because because I have an ego that says, hey, you can do anything, and then you're doing nothing. That's probably the best way I'd say I can put it. I have a massive ego that says, hey, you know, you are the best. You are, who the fuck knows? Just that you're somebody better than you're showing, and you're not fucking doing that. Like, I've been told fair many times that I do good work. I do, that I'm a smart guy, learn stuff really quick. My English teachers used to tell me, why don't you apply yourself? You do good in English. My math teachers used to get really pissed at me because I learned things so quickly that they couldn't believe that I didn't do my homework, which to me at the time was super easy to do, and I showed up on test day, and I did my tests, got my A's, and then I passed the class with a D. And I've been told that many times. Even my baseball coach, before I was flunking so many classes, they told me I couldn't play, and if I didn't get my grades up by a certain time, I got kicked off the team. And at one point, somewhere in between there, my coach even pointed out, he goes, hey, you know, how are you failing math? I heard you were a genius in math, which to me came as a shock because I don't think I'm a genius or anything fucking remotely close. I don't think geniuses cuss as much as I do. That kind of sunk home for me because it made me think that I'm smarter than I'm showing. And I'm not showing that I can do better, which should I think that I don't know how to put it. I know I can do better. And I keep showing that I can't do better. So that's where all this, I think, comes from, is I've had people tell me, you can do better. I've had people show it to me that I can do better, or show that I should have more confidence in myself, or that that's the hardest part, is trying to put it in words. I think it just boils down to that, is I'm disappointed that I'm not doing better than I am right now at just about everything. Like, I was a manager for almost 2 years at FedEx, and eventually got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and it boiled down once again to not talking with people and conversating with them and hashing out the issues I had, instead of just keep pushing my frustration at them, or that I stopped doing that and stopped talking to them altogether, just because I got tired of the complaining or got tired of the real issues, which were there. I mean, they were right in front of me, plain as day, and then I just crumbled. I crumbled hard, and I couldn't take it anymore, and I was putting in my 2 weeks without even having another job lined up because I couldn't take it. I had had enough. I felt so overwhelmed. But then it makes me think that all you had to do was talk to people. All you had to do was conversate. All you had to do was put out your guidelines and then just follow them to the letter. I mean, that's all I had to do. All I had to do was talk to people. And I didn't, because I mentally didn't want to deal with that sort of engagement. That's where I think a lot of my issues come from. Is I'm never like, I don't know. I think I can conversate with people decently well. It's just when it comes to drama, to actual hardships with people, I just crumble and push away from them, because I don't know how to make them feel better or reassure them that things are going to be okay, or I don't have a way to help them. And I'm a problem solver guy. I like to solve problems from a real black and white standpoint. I mean, well, this is what you should do. There's nothing else I should need to do. And people aren't like that. You gotta talk to them. You gotta really hammer down, or just keep hammering at these little bits and pieces of people to build them up, or to get them to do things you need. You need to be real absolute, and I don't think I did that at all. It just didn't pan out well. I can't say I'm not as happy now that I demoted. I got real lucky that they just didn't tell me adios, and they actually said, "Hey, we want to keep you. If you don't mind waiting a little bit, so we can get a position open for you." And they did, which was very lucky, because I made that stupid mistake of not going try to find a new job and all that. But it's hard some days when I go into work, because I talk to people even less now, because I feel like I let them down and didn't do what I could have if I really applied myself. Which, once again, goes back to, it just all comes back around. Because I have a feeling that if I really gave it my all for a lot of things, they wouldn't have been such a shit show as I think it turned out to be. And I think that is what keeps me up the most, is the disappointment. Yeah, the disappointment. It all comes back around. I don't know. Just something I want to share with you guys, because I couldn't sleep, so I just want to put it out there. So, catch you later, guys.